Hey, thank you for joining me here in the Stop Investing in Ads, Start Investing in Clients 5-Step Marketing Blueprint tutorial. Whew, that's a mouthful. So you and I are together for the next little while here as I'm going to walk you through this incredible marketing blueprint that you've downloaded and help you give you step-by-step instruction on how to maximize the benefits of this blueprint. It's a very powerful tool, but you have done the right thing. You've showed up here to get great information and to get a guide from a marketing expert on how to actually use this tool to maximize its value for you, your clients, and most of all, for your company and your family. So let's jump into it, shall we? So your mission here with the step-by-step marketing blueprint is to build a powerful and effective step-by-step system that will dependably deliver you sales rhythmically over and over and over and over and over again. That's what this whole blueprint is set up for, and that's why I'm so excited to give it to you today. Now, it is the companion to the Stop Investing in Ads, Start Investing in Clients Marketing Blueprint that you downloaded. So throughout the entire tutorial today, while you're watching it, you're going to have the chance to reflect on and use the blueprint that you've downloaded. So make sure you've either printed it off perhaps, or you've got it handy somewhere, or you've got a great paper like I've got right here, so you can take notes and you can structure this thing out while we're working. Now, this is not, treat this like a workshop, okay? This isn't just me talking to you. I really want you to do the work. I know from my experience that those who do the work alongside me when I give them this particular process and blueprint get way better results than those people who just kind of click play and listen to this in the background, or simply listen to the audio version if that's what you're listening to right now. It's great to listen. It's great to catch up with it. It's great to touch back on it again. And you'll notice that in the setup for this, in the copy text below, you'll see different time points that you can then jump in and just catch the section that you want to work on, which is nice and convenient for you. I know for me, that I love that when I get a tutorial, I want to go, okay, where's the section on this? And I go and I can find that. So if you want to listen to it over and over again, please do. But the best way to really use this to your biggest advantage is to do it alongside me while you're watching right now. So isolate the time, remove distractions, shut down other windows if you can and the other screens. I know we live a busy life, but close off Facebook, put your phone on silent, really plug into this, and you're going to get that same incredible value that the clients that do this in person with me or do it at our workshops, live events, etc., really get. And that's what I want you to receive, is that same type of experience. But in order to do that, you got to get focused. So please shut those things down, turn the phone off or silent or whatever you need to do. Close down the social media and the Facebooks and the Instagrams of the world, and just let's you and me work together to really build this incredible marketing blueprint for your company. Okay, so let's get rocking and rolling here. Ultimately, a lot of us behave like this guy. That we wind up constantly overlooking some pretty serious opportunity because we're so busy. And trust me, I've been there, right? I am a brick and mortar business owner myself, and it's in that laboratory of my own company that I learned these lessons, okay? So I've been there. I've been really focused on the operations of my business. I know how it feels. I know the struggle it can be. And I was just like this guy. I was so focused on operating my business, I couldn't be bothered to pick up on great marketing opportunity. I couldn't be bothered to do what you're doing right now. So congratulations to you, which is get more information and learn how to be a better, more effective business owner. And we constantly are operating like this guy, right? Saying, no, I don't want a machine gun at a sword fight. I'm too busy sword fighting and leading my people. What opportunities are we missing? So when you're coming into this today, I want you to have an open mind. When you're working through this tutorial with me, have an open mind as to how this can really effectively help your business grow. Because this is exactly how most of us entrepreneurs feel. I don't know about you, but this is how I felt. That I was stranded, I was alone, I was on an island surrounded by sharks. Because you and I both know that there are people coming for your clients. There are other big corporations that would love to sink their teeth into the clients that you care for. They'd love to get to them before you can get to them. They'd love to offer something similar to what you offer earlier and sooner than you can so that that client becomes their client and not yours, right? The entrepreneurial game, the business game is a dangerous one, and your finances are at stake. And I want you to realize you're no longer alone. I can help you. What we do here can help you. This blueprint you've downloaded and you're now watching the tutorial for that you can put to work can help you. You no longer have to be afraid. You're no longer on a stranded island. You are now joined at the hip with someone who's willing to go to the nth mile to help you get the results that you want. All right, so I just want you to feel like you've got someone in your corner, that you're no longer doing this all by yourself, because that's how I felt, and I'll tell you, it sucked. And you know what's even more important? It's not your fault, right? We often get into business because we want to deliver a great product or service, because we want to be our own boss, right? We want to be the creator of our own fate, as it were. But we don't learn that just because you're a great electrician, just because you're a great chef, just because you're a great chiropractor, just because you're a great salesperson means that you're great at marketing what you do. And that was a really hard lesson for me, cost me a lot of time, and that's why I want to help you with this. So what we're going to cover in today's tutorial is pretty straightforward, but I just want to go over it initially here. So first off, why you need a marketing blueprint as opposed to just doing ads, okay? Because there's a big, huge difference, and we're going to cover that. How to choose the right product or service to actually do your marketing with. We're going to jump into that, and I'm going to give you some great tools on how to pull that off. A quick client avatar creation. Now, with this particular thing, we're going to touch on the other product that I hope that you were able to snag, which is our 8 key questions to knowing your ideal client. That little tutorial or that little workbook is really powerful. And if you bought the package online, you probably have that. If not, certainly send me an email and we can work something out. Now, also, you're going to be doing a gratitude marketing brainstorm, okay? We're going to be covering that, and people are going, what is gratitude marketing? Don't worry, we'll get there. Then we're going to put it all together, right? So we're going to figure out what the ideal gift strategy is for your client, and then ultimately we're going to develop an entire system, right? We're going to put all the chunks in place that you can systemize this process so that you can actually keep delivering great results to your company, okay? But before we jump into that, I just want to touch on one of the things that a lot of people have an aversion to, which is that their marketing is often falling on deaf ears. It's not working the way they want it to. It's not having the results that they want. And there's a couple of really key reasons for that. It's not by accident. It's not because marketing doesn't work. It's not because advertising doesn't work. There's a couple of key elements to making sure that your marketing is effective that we can cover, but these are the things that often business owners find a challenge in their marketing. First off, they're focused on attention, not relationships. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that there's a lot of people that come into your office. There's a lot of people that came into my office that are pitching me ads, right? Advertise on my radio station, advertise on my website, advertise in our gym on the scrolling thing on the side of the television. I mean, you probably all had that pitch. Advertise in our magazine, advertise in our newspaper, do Facebook ads. I'm here to tell you that all of those things are attention-grabbing tools, and they're very effective if you know what to do with the attention. But see, the thing is, those salespeople, that's not their area of expertise, is it? Their area of expertise is selling you the Yellow Pages ad, is selling you the online advertising, is selling you the radio spots, is selling you the TV spots, is selling you a spot in their magazine. They're selling you attention and traffic. They're not selling you marketing. That's one of the most important things. If you get nothing else from this tutorial that we walked through together today, that's one of the most important lessons, okay? Do not focus on attention, focus on relationships. You may have to use those tools and those channels to get attention, but now once you walk through this blueprint, you'll be able to do that with intention, with structure, with a specific focus in mind. Because I'll tell you, I remember one of the chief problems I ran into was blowing my advertising budget on big concepts. So I thought this was going to be so amazing when I first did it. And I tell you, I was almost in tears when I actually looked at the results. So I had a guy come into my store and I own a pet retail company, still do, still operates. And he was pitching me the fact that he was going to get well over 3 million imprints of my ad out into the marketplace. And I was like, what? 3 million? Now, I live in a city that has about 160, 170,000 population. So I was thinking, holy smokes, that's some serious market saturation, right? And what he was offering me, I mean, you would think so too, right? I mean, that's a lot. 3 million versions of my ad out there. And the price wasn't astronomical. It was $1,000 a month. But that's pretty reasonable for that many impressions. So I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. So I looked at it. Now, what it was one of our local grocery stores was printing advertising on the back of their receipts, right? So when someone would get a receipt from the grocery store, along the back side of that receipt would be a series of ads. And soon to be one from my company, making an offer, talking about us. Now, this seemed like a great idea. Tons of people get those receipts and everything else. And the results were crap. They were terrible, okay? Over the course of an entire year, I probably got about 35 or so of those offers back. 35 out of approximately 3 million impressions in, it was 14 months that I was doing it. And I was, to tell you the truth, I shelled out $14,000 plus taxes to do this project. And it had resulted in about 40 clients coming in. And I didn't have a system in place to know whether they were new clients or old clients, right? So really bad, right? Which is the second thing, is that most of us don't have a system in place to figure out whether we're getting reliable results or not, right? And I was so disappointed. I was so frustrated, because what do people actually do with those receipts? They were continuously throwing my logo, my branding, my ad in the garbage. What does that say about my company? But that's the thing. This is what happens with when we focus on attention and not relationship. When we use ad channels and these big traffic areas to get to shout at people without actually creating a relationship or a systemized approach to it. And that campaign cost me an entire year's worth of profit because it didn't work. An entire year of profit I lost in my lifetime. I will never get that year back because I made that gamble. This blueprint today is going to help you avoid those disasters, okay? But follow along with me. And the final thing, right? So we focus on attention and not relationships. We have no system to provide us reliable results, and we believe that word of mouth will win. Listen, you can't systemize what people say about you. Great word of mouth is always valuable. It's always powerful. And there are rare companies that can rely almost on word of mouth exclusively to get themselves traction. But for the most part, word of mouth is not going to be the thing that puts you over the top. It's not going to be the thing that you can rely on. Because what if people don't talk about you next month? Do you have any new clients coming? You don't know. So word of mouth is not a marketing strategy. It's a byproduct of having a great business. But if you want to grow, like if you look at great companies out there that are growing all the time, they don't rely on word of mouth. Word of mouth is a byproduct of just having a great company. So power to you if you've got great word of mouth, that's awesome. But it's not a systemized way of approaching your marketing. And that's what this blueprint is all about, okay? And I've had this question a lot. Now, before we jump into the very first step, why a blueprint at all? Well, because of this reason here. Because like this guy in blue, right? We're often running after all these different avenues of how to do our marketing without any structure, without any real concrete strategy behind what we're doing. And we wound up going 2 steps this way, 2 steps that way, 2 steps this way, 2 steps that way, 2 steps this way, 2 steps that way. And we wake up 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, we go, damn it, I am in the exact same place where I started. Because we're often chasing squirrels of marketing. That's not what this is about, okay? This blueprint is going to show you how to make sure that you get on track and you actually get the results that you're looking for through a very structured and systemized process. And I call it a blueprint specifically because If I was to call it a system, chances are you're going to want specific pieces already done for you in that system. And that's not what this is. This is a way of going, okay, I'm going to blueprint out, I'm going to strategize out what we're going to do. And now I can pour any product, I can pour any client, I can pour any service into this blueprint and use it and follow the instructions to get the results I'm looking for. It's a blueprint, it's a guide, it's a setup to be able to do this. And I guess I just like the word blueprint. So now I just want to quickly touch on who I am a little bit here before you dive super deep, or you and I dive super deep into this blueprint and how it's going to work for you. Because you might be going, wow, okay, all of this makes sense. All right, I get the idea of systemizing it. That makes sense to me. I love the idea of having a marketing blueprint that I can use over and over again to get great results. I love those things. And I really want to make sure that I've got the right product, the right service, the right client, all that stuff. You get all that. But you might be going, okay, well, but why are you the person to tell me this? Well, here's the thing. I am a brick and mortar business owner. I have gone through the crucible of being an entrepreneur and learning the hard way. And I want to help make sure you don't have to suffer those same consequences. You don't have to go through those same things. Or if you have and you're looking for answers like I was, I'm here for you, okay? I know what it feels like. I know what it looks like to be $28,000 into my line of credit. Okay, so minus $28,000, minus $20,000 on my American Express card or my MasterCard, minus $6,000 on my American Express card. It's a Wednesday, no, it was a Tuesday, I'm sorry, and I have to figure out how to make it. I think it was about a $7,500 payroll by Friday. I've been there. I've suffered those consequences. I've been through that process. And if you've been through it too, I'm with you, okay? I can feel you. I totally empathize and I sympathize. If you haven't experienced it yet, let's build you a beautiful marketing blueprint that helps you never experience it in the first place. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to experience failure. Experience your own. Don't do the ones that I've already done. Don't do the ones that the other entrepreneurs out there have already done. Learn from our mistakes. Okay, there is a proven pathway. And when I started to figure this out, when I started to go, okay, what is this proven pathway? How do I figure this out? When I realized that through blood, sweat, tears, I was able to grind and pull my family business out of receivership and get it into a point of being at least breaking even. At that point, I thought, wow, how do I go to the next level? And I realized my hard work wasn't going to be enough. And that's when I started to educate myself. That's when I started to realize that I was sitting on a gold mine and just had no idea. I had no clue. I completely invested myself into understanding marketing, understanding what marketing was, how it worked, because I knew that was the black hole of my business. I knew that every time I decided to spend money on ads, which without a good marketing plan won't work, okay? Spend money on ads, spend resources on creating some sort of marketing, it was always hitting flat. It never was working. So I wanted to get better at marketing. I knew it was the black hole of my business. I knew it's what I needed. And I didn't realize once I started to do research on this that I was sitting on a gold mine. I was sitting right on top of it. All I had to do was mine it. All I had to do was mine it. And I'm going to show you with this blueprint exactly how to do that. Because I discovered something that I've coined as gratitude marketing. Okay? This is the art of making your client the centerpiece of your marketing. Making your client the most important part of your marketing. Making your client the key golden cog that you insert into the clockwork of your company that spins everything else. And I found this, I discovered this by putting some marketing concepts together that I had found from different resources. So when I started to learn how to do marketing and I dedicated myself to the education of it, there was a very specific number that popped out in a number of different ways from a number of different sources. And that is the 7-to-1 ratio. What do I mean 7-to-1? What I mean is that it on average costs us as business owners 7 times more money to replace a client than to simply sell to an existing client. When I discovered that number, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Right? So think about that. To replace me as a client would cost you, the business owner, $70. Or to market to me again might cost you $10 for me to come in and buy another product or service. Which would you rather? You want to make the sale no matter what. So often as business owners, we're focused on getting new clients. What about using the existing clientele we have and just making more sales? And I'll tell you, when I discovered this, it blew my mind. Think about, would you rather spend $100 to create more business or $700? Would you rather spend $1,000 to create more business or $7,000? Vice versa, okay? So this was a big, huge shift for me. Plus, okay, customers that feel loyal to your company, that feel like they have a relationship with you, they spend on average 18% more per year than a client that does not feel that way. And what's one of the best ways for a client to feel bonded to your company? By giving them gratitude, by making it a part of your business culture, by making it a part of your marketing culture, by thanking them rhythmically so that they feel like they're a real part of your community, your culture. And it turns out that a happy client that feels bonded to your company, that becomes a raving fan, they share 3 times more often than the client that has no real interest in your company at all. They just shop there. They're just ambiguous, right? So when I put these 3 numbers together and I put them to work, magic started to happen, and that's what the blueprint's designed to do. So let's jump into it now, okay? You've been with me now for a little over 20 minutes, and we are now gonna jump and sink our teeth into this, okay? So open up your Stop Investing in Ads, Start Investing in Clients Marketing Blueprint, or if you have it printed off, awesome, sit it right there. So first things first, step number 1. Step number 1 in the marketing blueprint is choose a single product or service that we're going to use for your marketing. One of the biggest mistakes that I see from companies, and this happens over and over and over again, is that the companies are talking about themselves as a company rather than a product or a service. Massive difference. And because in the end, your marketing is talking to a client. Okay? I'll tell you right now, this may be the second most important thing you pull out of this tutorial if this is all you hear. You can't market your company. Nobody cares. You're the only one that cares about your company. People buy for themselves. They don't buy for you. So you have to market them a product or service that changes their life, that does something for them. That's a big shift in how you think about your market. So people go, here's my logo, here's my brand, this is my company, ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Nobody cares. They want to know, what are you selling them? Here's our shoes, not here's our company that sells shoes. Okay? Here's our coffee. Okay? Here's our coffee. Have a sip, enjoy it. Not this is our beautiful coffee shop. Very different. Your marketing has to speak to them, which means it has to be delivering the product or service that you're offering. Simplicity. When you choose a single product or service, your offers, your communication, your entire messaging gets simplified. And that is so important. We are bombarded by thousands of messages. I've heard all sorts of stats, like 18,000 ads a day that we see all the way, or messages a day, all the way to like 5,000. I've heard some crazy numbers. I don't know which one to believe. I do know we get a lot of marketing coming at us. So you want your marketing to be simple and effective. And if you're talking about your company that has, I mean, my pet business, for example, we've got hundreds, probably over 1,000 products in the store. We have multiple different services. I can't offer everything to everybody. They're just going to get freaking confused. I have to offer salon services, or I have to offer nail trims, or I have to offer a particular food brand. I can't offer all of them, right? So it makes a big, huge difference. Plus, it ensures that your messaging can be specific. Your ads, your headlines, all of your marketing and promotional material, all of it points your clients in one direction. Rather than going, here we are, here's our doors open, come on in. It's look at this specific thing. Ooh, that's cool. I like that. I'm interested in that because it speaks to me and what I want, not about the company. Okay? So what I want you to do right now is choose a specific product or service that you're going to be marketing, that you're going to build your entire marketing blueprint around. So pause the video, pause it, and pick a particular product or service you're going to build for your marketing right now. Now, some people go, oh, I don't know which one to pick. Look, pick for this particular exercise in this workshop, just pick your best product or pick your best service, right? Pick your best one, the one you feel most confident about, the one that you love to sell. Choose that one and we'll design our marketing from there. This is a blueprint, you guys. You can use it over and over again. So pick that particular product or service, and we're going to build our marketing for that. Go ahead, pause the video. Pause it, pause it. Okay. Have a little sip of Java. All right, excellent. Hopefully you have paused the video, or now you're playing it again, obviously, or else you wouldn't hear me. Okay, but hopefully you have a product or service chosen. Write that down, okay? If you have a piece of paper, write it down on there. Otherwise, if you're using our blueprint, write it down. I'm just gonna check my notes here. Okay, cool. Excellent. Next thing, step number 2 of the 5-step marketing blueprint is choose your client avatar. So many businesses struggle with this. And even when they've picked the right product or service, they go, oh, well, I could sell it to this person. I could sell it to that person. I have a personal fitness trainer friend of mine. And seriously, his client avatar is everybody. Like, it doesn't matter. And essentially anybody who's 15 to 85, he could build a fitness plan for you, right? And he really struggled for a long time with his marketing because he was essentially pitching the planet. And that's not going to work, right? People buy for different reasons. Different people buy for different reasons. And it wasn't until we refined his messaging that he would be able to get clients from a very specific niche. You don't think that I am 39 years old. And God, I've never told my age online before. Okay, I'm 39 years old. And I have different needs and interests than my father, who is 73, right? Makes sense. I have different needs and interests than my mom, who's 65. I have different needs and interests than my wife, who's 32. So we've got an entirely different range. Now, the things that my wife and I would be interested in, probably closer. We have a son, right? You know, we spend a lot of time together. We're probably going to be interested in similar things, but still, you have to talk to us differently because one's a woman and one's a man, and we gravitate to different stuff, different colors, different messaging, etc. Same thing, right? You have products and services that can probably be sold to a number of different people, but you can't message everybody. The message that works for my father is not going to work for me, right? You could sell both of us golf clubs, but the reason I'm going to buy them is totally different than the reason my father's going to buy them. So it's very important that for this exercise, you choose a client avatar. Now, you can have this multiple times over. One of the great parts about this blueprint is that you can take that fitness business, for example, and this is what we ran him through. The fitness business, he wants to sell weekly personal training, in-home personal training, same product. The avatar changed. We created 6 different avatars for him, 6. And the marketing and the messaging and the way the rest of the blueprint laid out was different for all 6 because there's 6 different avatars. Same product, 6 different avatars, created 6 slightly different blueprints because the messaging is different, right? Or different results, I should say. Massive shift in your thinking, okay? Your marketing needs to be specific, and especially in today's day and age with the power of social media and the targeting you can do with your leads and your ads, understanding your specific client has become crucial. People don't want to be marketed to any more generically. They need you to market to them specifically. So this is a really crucial thing. And ultimately, there are 2 main functions that set up who your ideal client is. So now if you have, I'll get to that in a second. First off, the demographics of your ideal client, okay? The demographics are the answers to the question, who buys from you, okay? So this is often these are things that you can see: age, family size, geography, neighborhoods. Are they thin? Are they heavy? Are they fit? Are they not fit? These are things that from the outside you're going to be able to see. Do they have 2 kids, no kids? Do they have grandkids? Like, these are the things that you can see from the outside. Okay, what kind of car they drive, what type of clothing they wear. These are answering the who buys from you. But then there's the psychographic reasons why somebody buys. And this basically answers the question why they buy from you. Okay, so what's in it for them? What fears are you conquering? What challenges are you solving? What burning problems do they have you can take care of? These are the reasons why they purchase what you're offering them. Okay. Now, if you have it, perfect. This is the ideal time to break out the Choose the Client Avatar, or the 8 key questions to knowing your ideal client workbook. Very powerful tool, right? And it was using this workbook that I actually discovered a completely invisible client in my store. I didn't even know she existed. And it turns out she was my top client. It didn't matter how many times this woman came into my store, and I'm saying woman as a generic group of ladies, a specific avatar type. She was coming into my store like 25 times a day, and I just couldn't see her. I thought that all of my clients were between basically 30 and 40 years old. Okay, had small families, everything else. Turns out I was flat out wrong. The ideal client for my business was a 52-year-old young grandmother. That was her. And she was coming in. There was like 15 or 20 of her coming in every single day, spending thousands of dollars in my pet business. She was invisible to me until the statistics showed it to me. Right? And then I started to build all of my marketing around her. What are the key questions that make sure I know her? And everything shifted. So I want the same thing to happen for you. So right now, what I'm going to get you to do is go through, if you have the 8 key questions knowing your ideal client, perfect. Run through that process. Pause this video. Take a half an hour. Run through that if you can. If not, put that on the side and make sure you remember it. Or if you don't have the 8 key questions knowing your ideal client, go back. Let me just go back for a moment and answer these 2 questions. Who buys from you and why are they buying? Okay, who buys this product or service and why are they buying this product or service? Okay, so right now, pause the video, pause, and do that work. Go ahead. Okay, so hopefully you pause the video, you did the work, and now you have an idea as to who your ideal client is. Now, there are some, I've coached businesses before where I really don't know who they are. No problem. Let's craft one. Let's carve one out. So if you were struggling with this exercise because you're not sure who this person really is, then answer those 2 questions, right? Who are they and why are they buying my product or service? And create your ideal client. And you might be surprised that as you build your marketing, that's exactly who you attract, all right? So we've done these 2 things, what you're marketing, who you're marketing to. Now it comes to step number 3, which is the magical secret weapon of marketing. All right. This is like, I'll tell you right now, this is the key magical ingredient. And I love this quote from Seth Godin because it really illustrates it. He says, people rarely buy what they need, but they always buy what they want. Now, if you don't know Seth Godin, he's one of the top marketers on the planet. His blog is one of the most frequented websites in the world. It gets millions of hits every single day. And he really understands his stuff. He's written great books, such as Linchpin, amazing. And Seth Godin really understands the world of marketing very, very effectively, one of the top marketers on the planet. So when he says something like this, I think it's something we should take note of. Would you agree? So people rarely buy what they need, they buy what they want. And we see this over and over again. So step number 3 is a brainstorming activity. If you have your 5-step blueprint, perfect, you've got a whole section to fill this out. If not, take your piece of paper because we're going to brainstorm here, okay? What would your client, the ideal client you just created in step 2, absolutely love? What would they just super enjoy? What would they be ecstatic about getting when they buy your product or service, right? So think about as many gift ideas for this ideal client. Now go both big and small because I just want you to let your imagination fly. Don't hold back, okay? Think about anything that might be possible. This could be trips. This could be dream vacations. It could be free iPads. It could be, what else we got? Like gift cards, all sorts of things. So don't hesitate. Gift baskets, wedding things, photo shoots. Just go crazy with this, okay? I want you to get as many ideas on paper as possible. And one of the reasons I do this because I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. Michael Loge is a person who I know. He's one of the original writers of it. And he talks about the idea of putting something into words because that leads to how you think about it. And you never know how that can then attract itself. So think big because you never know what might be able to show up. And don't hesitate to take into consideration joint ventures. What do I mean by a joint venture? Well, this is another company that could probably offer something that marries up with what you do. So for example, I've run lots of promotions between local coffee shops and restaurants and my pet business. Because those ladies, that 52-year-old grandma, right? She routinely comes into my store, but she also routinely spends money in the community at different restaurants and coffee shops. So wouldn't it be great if she was in my store and she received a promotional gift from them? I'm marketing their company and I'm encouraging a sale from my existing client because I'm giving them a gift. So don't hesitate to think about joint ventures as possibilities for gift ideas. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a slide here and I'm going to leave this up while you write this, because these are some ideas as to what could be potential gifts or thank yous to your client. Info products, education products, content, joint ventures, affiliates, referral, loyalty programs, thank you gifts, deals, discounts, free product, free trials, workshops, guides, tip sheets, how-to videos, inspirational videos, exclusive pricing, exclusive memberships, and all sorts of other things that you can think of. As I was saying, trips, vacations, anything. So give yourself about 15 minutes, okay? You're gonna pause this video, give yourself 15 minutes, put as many ideas down onto paper as possible. Throw them up on my whiteboard, whatever is gonna work for you, but pound as much stuff down as you can to give yourself an idea as to what's possible. So go ahead, pause the video right now, and just do a quick brainstorm on all the things that your ideal client would love to receive. Go ahead, press pause. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you now have a nice bushel of ideas. All right, because now we're going to choose one or two of these gifts that would be perfect fit between what you're marketing and what your client wants. So go ahead, as you're looking down your list, circle one or two of these things that make sense profit-wise, monetarily, makes sense from what you're capable of, and what the type of connections are that you have. So make sure you choose a couple of gifts that make sense for your client and what you're capable of today. Don't throw out this brainstorm. Very powerful tool to use at a later time if you want to keep going with this process, okay? So go ahead right now, choose a couple, or just one if it's a really good one. But in our 5-step marketing blueprint journey, we have come up with what you're marketing. You've chosen a simple and specific product or service. Who you're marketing to, you know the who and the why. You now have a group of gifts or a single gift that you're going to be able to figure out and put together and that you would love to give and offer to your client for doing business with you, okay?
Here's what I found on the
My phone is talking to me. Sorry, everybody. So the final piece of all of this, okay? So the final piece of all this, you're gonna put all these pieces together into a system. This is the part that becomes magical. So step 5 is assembling your marketing system. This is the entire portfolio of how all these pieces fit together strategically. And the system is what creates reliability in your marketing. This is what creates that ability to accurately predict what's about to happen. So first off, in your system, we're going to go through the discovery. So how are you gonna let your clients know or your leads know about the amazing offers that you have for them? So what's the system and the structure with which they're going to discover your offer? And then putting that offer and that sale into action. So how are you going to deliver this to your clients and what is that going to look like? So essentially, all of the pieces revolve around your client. You've heard me reference it a few times that your client is the golden cog of your business. So how does this system really lay out? This is what it looks like. First off, how does your prospect become aware of your offer? That leads to how are you going to propose your offer? Okay. Third, how you'll be delivering that offer. Number 4 is how are you going to collect information from the client? And then number 5 is how are you going to deepen and continue that relationship? One of the key elements of any really good marketing, and as I called it gratitude marketing before, is developing that profound and impactful relationship between you and your client. So this continuing relationship process is very crucial to making sure you maximize the benefits of this blueprint. What exactly does that look like? We're going to give you an example of a local coffee shop. So the headline for this promotion is "Give a Friend a Latte." really. In the end, we're going to be targeting ladies, probably 28 to 38 or so. And buy one, get one on lattes at this coffee shop is going to be the offer. And let's go through how we would promote it. So this is what the system starts to look like. And we're using all those pieces that we've assembled before, all the foundational elements that we've done. So how does your prospect become aware of your offer? In this case, we're going to use both Facebook and Instagram posts and in-store promotion, posters, perhaps a flyer, that type of thing, but most likely posters and things that you can see on the front desk. All right? How will we be proposing the offers? So the first part is about how to get attention, right? This is the awareness section, how to get attention. And the second part is how are we proposing it? Well, in this case, the attention and the proposal is the same thing. So we're going to be offering it through Facebook, Instagram, and in-store promotion, what the actual offer is and how we're going to be proposing it. In some cases, you might make a proposal or you might get a prospect's attention online, right? And you take them to a landing page, for example, or a squeeze page. That's where you actually make your proposal. So they're not always in the same place, and that's why it's two different sections. Next, how will we be delivering the offer? Well, we're going to give the client the promotion when they purchase. So at the front desk, they're going to say, I want the buy one, get one on lattes, right? Perfect. This is the promotion, and we promo it off right there. How will you be collecting information? What we do is while we're making the lattes, we of course say, hey, we have a great loyalty program. Why don't you join it? And we offer them the opportunity to join our loyalty/rewards program right then and there, create that relationship with them. And then continuing the relationship, we'll do that through email and through text messaging with this powerful loyalty program. Okay? And then what's great about that is then we can turn it around and we go right back into making them another offer through email or text messaging. Maybe it's not buy one, get one on lattes. Maybe it's buy a latte, get a half-price muffin. Who knows, right? Whatever it's going to be. Or something along those lines. Or perhaps the coffee shop wants to join up with a local restaurant. Say, if you buy a latte today, we're going to give you $10 off your dinner at such and such a restaurant. And they got promotional cards there. There's lots of different ways you can do it. That's a joint venture concept, right? So lots of different ways. But that's the concept, okay? So we start off with how does your prospect become aware of what you're offering them? What's the mechanism you're going to be using to propose the offer? How are you going to deliver this promotion or this offer, right? And then ultimately, how are you going to collect information from that client so that they become attached to you so that in the end, you can go to step 5, which is continuing the relationship with the client. And of course, making them further offers. So now it's your turn. You know the product or service you're offering. You know who the ideal client is, okay? You know, all right, all these things about your particular product or service, who the ideal client is, what their perfect gift would be, what gift you're gonna offer them, and you have an idea now as to what the system looks like, so now it's your turn to create it. So how do they become aware of it? How are you gonna propose it? How are you gonna deliver it? How are you gonna collect information? And how would you like to continue the relationship? So it's your turn to fill out all 5 of these particular categories. Okay? So right now, if you're using the blueprint, you can fill all this out. There's spots on the page to fill all this stuff out. If you're not using the blueprint, if you're just using a piece of paper, now is the time to take your paper and put all this information down and ultimately put all this stuff in there so you can build yourself a systematic way of using this blueprint to give yourself some results. So press pause right now and go about creating your 5-step marketing blueprint. Perfect. Welcome back. I'm excited because it is time for some congratulations. You've done it. If you did the right thing and you walked through this tutorial, this chick cracks me up. She is going, isn't she? She's having a good time, having a good time. You have done it. You have put together your 5-step marketing blueprint so you can stop investing in ads, start investing in clients, and start to get some serious results, right? You have now gone through the process of identifying a specific product or service. that you want to market. You know who you're going to market it to and exactly what they want and how they want it. You know exactly the type of gift or thank you that they would love to receive, the gratitude that you're going to give to them for being a client of yours, because everybody likes to feel important. And you've chosen the perfect gift that will work out for them, and then you've put all of this into an actual system so that you can press play and have it work, right? One of my favorite system stories is from Robert Kiyosaki, and he tells a story about, I'm not going to get the names wrong, so let me, Pablo and Bruno. If you haven't, you can look it up on YouTube. It's great. I will summarize the story for you. Okay, so Pablo and Bruno are asked to get water from the well to the village, and they will be paid by how much water they get there. And a lot of us run our businesses this way. We go, okay, perfect. You're going to be like Bruno, and you're going to pick up a bucket and you're going to haul ass over to the well, bring up the water, run it to the village, get paid. Bring up the water or run back to the well, bring up the water, run to the village, get paid. And Pablo and Bruno were doing this side by side for some time. They're both doing it. They're both going after it. And what's hilarious is that over the course of time, Bruno's getting bigger and he's getting stronger. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to do this better. I'm going to be better. And he keeps getting more muscles, and he keeps working on his calisthenics and his cardio and everything. Well, Pablo, instead of doing that at night and getting better personally, Pablo starts to go, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. So Pablo decides that he's going to build an actual system. He's going to build a way of getting the water up and then running it along an aqueduct almost and getting it to the village, so that he doesn't have to keep running back and forth and running back and forth and running back and forth. Now, what's hilarious about this is that this takes a long time. Pablo's got to think about it. He's got to engineer it. In the meantime, Bruno's getting bigger and faster and stronger, and he starts being able to deliver several buckets every time he's doing a trip. And he starts to pile up the money. While in the meantime, Pablo is just going one bucket at a time, and he's not getting anywhere very fast. Sorry, big motorcycle just drove by my house. So that's what's happening, right? Over the course of many years, Bruno develops a nice hefty sum, and he's able to buy a house for his family and everything else, and he's doing very well, right? He's doing just fine. But he realizes that he's getting tired, he's getting a little creaky, he's got some injuries and everything else. While in the meantime, Pablo has created an entire structured system that flows the water from the well, pulls the water up, flows it down from the well, across the aqueduct, into the village, into a basin. And after several years of building it, engineering it, thinking about it and building it, he flicks the switch, and suddenly water is pouring into the village at a pace that Bruno could never keep up with. Guess who became the wealthiest person in the village? Pablo, because he figured out how to deliver through a system rather than doing all the work himself. And this is what I'm delivering to you today, is a marketing system. This blueprint can take you from zero to hero. You just have to keep following the system. It's what happened for my company, okay? I remember that at one point I spent $20,000 on a direct mail campaign for 4 months. So honoring the promotion of the campaign and putting the campaign out there cost my company $20,000, and it netted me 6 new clients. It was horrifying, the results. But the following year, I spent $23,000 on my marketing in a systemized and structured way with an actual strategy. And this is when I started to form this blueprint. I pounded it out through hard work and putting the pieces together. When I formed this blueprint and was putting it into action, I spent $23,000 my next year and made over $200,000 in revenue from that project. So systemization is key, but none of it will work for you if you don't take action. You now have the blueprint, okay? If you haven't built it with me today, then you know how to build it now. If you're listening to this or watching it, you know how to build it. Go out and do it. Use these tools. Knowing is not enough. You must take action. And that's one of those things from Tony Robbins. But you know what? Beyond all that, you've got this. You've got it. You've got the information that you need. You've got the skills. You can tap into the resources. Please feel free to email my company at any time, okay? and make sure that you maximize the benefits of this blueprint. Nothing makes me happier than seeing my clients get some serious results because it's your time. So thank you so much for watching this. We're coming in at just under an hour for this tutorial, which is exactly what I wanted. I hope you got big time value out of this, but none of it will be effective if you don't put it to work. So go ahead, take the blueprint, take what you've done, take this system, put it into action, and let me know the great results that you get. Thanks so much for watching this. And yeah, I'll look forward to our next whole process. Thank you.